What's up, guys? Kit Dale here, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt. That's battle. I'm here to narrate another roll. Usually I do matches, but I want to do a roll this time because I'm rolling with Lachlan Giles. Now, when me and Lachlan roll. We don't roll to mess around. There's no flow rolling here, and we're trying to win the roll. And I think this is a really good one because there's a lot of really cool examples I'd like to narrate to help you understand what's going on in my mind and hopefully in Locklee's mind. I cannot predict what was going through Lockie's mind, and a lot of the time it was probably a bear with tambourines or something like that, but I can do my best. Now, I'm going to play this and talk you through it. So at the moment, Lockie's, no, to be honest, no one knows what Lockie's talking about. He's just cracking himself up and just waiting for him to finish so that I can start the roll. Now you'll notice that when I'm wrestling, I'm quite relaxed. I'm very flowy and I'm trying to really figure out my opponent and see any kind of weaknesses in their arm. Okay, I'm going to pause that for 1 second. I'm going to show you something because there's a nice little detail here of what I do with my right arm in my wrestling stance. So you see my right arm right here is in front of my right leg. And what I do that for is when people shoot, that right arm's going to be in front of them and block them. I'm going to try and jam him right here, which you see as I do with this right arm. It didn't even need to be too heavy because he was so far back. It was quite an opportunistic shot. I use that to block. Lachlan has a nice underhook with my left hand. I'm trying to be as relaxed as I can, but it's not a very good position. Lachlan's hand, okay, this is really good here. If you watch Lachlan hand fighting here, which distracted me, I'm just going to show you that again. Okay, see this hand here? He's kind of distracting me with his grip position. And what I'm thinking is he's going to try and snap me down and guillotine me, but what he does is he uses this as a distraction to shoot underneath my right leg. Boom, there we go. Now what I would have done if I was Lockie is I would have switched to a double leg here, because he's got a single leg, and a single leg's good, but I still have one leg to defend. If he had grabbed both my legs here, it would have been twice as hard for me to defend. So right now I'm just blocking. Now I use a certain grip. Okay, I'll show you when I turn around. What I actually do is I get an arm drag gripping position. Aha! Okay, you can see it now. He's grabbing his own hands on my single leg. My left hand is grabbing his right wrist, and my right arm is on the inside of his shoulder and neck through and grabbing an arm drag position. Now, I'll show you what I'm trying to do with this position, okay? What I'm looking at doing is I'm looking at, one, balancing with my left leg to make sure he doesn't take me down. But the thing I like about this is even if he does take me down, I land with a good arm drag. And if I can arm drag before he takes me down, even better. But what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on kicking this leg straight, which breaks this grip on his hands here. As I do that, I'm going to feed his wrist in between my hips here and drag his arm across so that I can go towards his back. Let's see what happens. Now, what I have to watch for here is when he's so high like this, and look where his eyes are. You can look straight at this leg here. He's looking at trying to break this post here. Boop. Okay, so he does try and break that, and you've got to make sure you're onto that. Now you can hop away from that. Now he's trying to drag me downwards now. So as you can see, I place my left leg directly under the pressure that he's trying to bring me down now, and I keep hopping underneath it so that there's too much of a post there. Now, this is what I did here. If you can see the little sleight of hand, watch this arm drag I go for here, okay? Watch, boom, there we go. I break the grip, drag the arm across. Now you see my fucking stupid face here. I look straight towards the back. I'm going to go straight and grab his hip. The reason why is what he's going to do here. He's going to step around and he's going to try and run his back away from me. I need to attack that back. Boop, grab that hip. Now what I'm looking at doing is I'm looking at getting this right leg on the inside here. But Lockie does a really good job. See, he follows that and puts the hook in here, saving me from taking his back. And then he tries to elevate me to sweep me this way, but I get my left, you can see the shadow from my left hand. Unfortunately, I had a post here to base on for Lockie, so there was no point. It just made a little bit of space. Now, Lockie is quite aware of the way I like passing. He has a nice frame on here. I have my right thumb in his armpit because I know Lockie likes to kick this leg through an underhook over here. So this right thumb, if you had watched the video with me and Tommy Langacker, you can see how effective the thumb is because it basically stops him from bringing me forward. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more once we get to that position. It's just a bit of a feeling out phase, just trying to feel things. Okay, I tried to jump to the other side, but it was not successful. What I did here, as you can see, I sprawl a little bit because Lockie reaches under to try and grab my far leg. So to stop him from having any ability to go underneath me, I'm just sprawling a little bit on that. Now, watch what I do here, because he's using this frame really well on my neck, so I can't get close enough to him to grab anything to pass. So what I do is I'm trying to kill this frame by grabbing his wrist and bring it to the ground, which will take that forearm off my neck. See, I use both my hands here to block that. Now I can get a lot closer to his upper body. What I'm looking at doing now is I'm looking to feed this arm of Lockie's through to my right hand in a little gift wrap. Okay, I'm trying to set that up as subtle as I can. You can see by my eyes how much I'm thinking. And okay, I'm going to talk about this gripping position too in a second as I get this gift wrap. Fuck, what's wrong with me? Okay, and right now I've got the gift wrap, which is a really good position. Now, I'm going to talk about this position here. This hand that Lockie has on my foot here is really a super important detail because what it's doing, and a lot of people think this, that by grabbing the foot, I can't knee cut through there. I can still knee cut through there, but what he's doing is he's successfully holding his leg close to his shoulder. He's taken away any space from his armpit to his thigh. If I want to pass here, I need to have space. I need to bring his knee really far away from his shoulder so there's space. But this grip on my foot is pulling everything in. It's pulling his little body in like a little Slater bug. Usually what I would do is I would use my left hand to break this grip, but because I'm trying to do something with the gift wrap up the top, I'm not really focusing on that. I'm looking at trying to step right over the back here and go towards his back, but Lockie brings this left leg in to block me like a piece of shit he is. Alright, so I'm trying to make it happen here, and this is quite opportunistic, but when in Rome, why not? So I'm trying to slip through those legs, we both have a bit of a giggle, and we go back again. So Lockie has a nice underhook, but here's my leg in there. It's very hard to see what's going on in that left foot position right now, so I'm not going to comment too much on that. It's not too important. There's a little bit of hand fighting here, and what I'm looking at doing is trying to get an underhook with his right hand. I like to lead with my right leg, so I'm trying to get an underhook with here and then blocking his left leg. If you had to watch the match with Tommy Langacker, you would see me do this a couple times. Oh, then I tried to weave my leg out here. Now I'm in that position again, but this time I'm trying to block his hand from grabbing my foot. As you see, he's here, my hand's underneath that, blocking it this time. Trying to stop that, good. And now I'm pushing his leg back. Now I'm just going to go back one split second to see what I did with that back leg. Because I'm in half guard right now, you'll know what I'm looking at doing is I'm trying to get this foot over the top of his foot. So I'm going to try and weave it across here. I tried to, there we go, I landed, good, nice. And now his leg's pinned here. My knee's on this side, my foot's on this side. Now I just need to get close to his upper body. Okay, I drop my right foot here. So now I am past, but I have this shin to deal with here. So I need to somehow, I really need to grab his arm and pull it off the ground so it turns his body facing the other way to kill this shin here. But it's quite difficult. You see Lockie brings this left leg through here. What he was trying to do originally was go to a 50-50 position. He wanted this foot to come on the inside of this leg, so I brought this leg close to block that. And I get almost past him here. He's got this right leg in here, so now I just need to push this leg away while still maintaining a bit of control here. Lockie's trying to push my upper body away to make enough space to bring his legs back in. Just trying to hang out to see if I can do it. Okay, oh, there we go. So I make that space now. This should be all over. I'm trying to block this arm because I know Lockie, if he can't get this arm back in, he's going to turtle away from me the way I'm rolling this mouse. If I can hold this arm and he tries to turn away, it'll block him. But instead, now I don't know how that happened. He managed to push me away and recover. It's very hard to see that. I honestly feel like I slipped a little bit. I'm gonna blame it on the wet mats. And now we're in this position again. Once again, you see me trying to flick this arm over the top, and now I've underhooked this arm so he couldn't grab me again. So you see the problems I had with, the problems that I had with him at first, I'm trying to eliminate them more one by one. So I hook that leg again this time. I drop the knee back into this position. Now let's see how I deal with that. Now I'm really trying to anchor this arm here to stop him from turning towards me. Basically, he's got his left leg still in here. I need to be able to keep myself nice and tight and stop him from rolling. See, his left knee is just right here now, so I need to deal with this somehow. Okay, so what I did is I pushed my hips really far forward here. You see, his leg is still on the outside of both my legs here, and this knee's forward. By pushing my hips forward, it takes away a lot of that angle from pushing into me now directly up. Look how extended his arms are. They're not real close to me now, so I'm trying to slip past his guard somehow. Push his leg out of the way. Try and hold him in this position. Now see, I grab that arm. What I would like is I would like my arm to be in front of his head. Because his head's tucked in now, it gives him a lot more leverage to start turtling up. See what I mean? Couldn't stop him from turtling. So I know he's coming up now, so I'm going to look at trying to secure a submission here, maybe a Das or a guillotine or a Peruvian necktie. Now I'm going to go for a Peruvian necktie because, as you can see, I've got my left arm on the inside of his neck and shoulder here, which is bringing this arm on the inside. And what I'm going to look at doing is, as I'll show you what I'm looking at doing, I'm trying to cut an angle to the side to put my left foot over his head. Okay. I'm trying to do that, but he's making it hard for me to do that. See, what I want to do here is bring this left leg over the back of his head and then my right leg over his back. If I can push both with my legs, I push his butt down and his head down and pull with my hands on his throat, you can see it's going to create a scissor effect and choke him. He's trying to recover guard again. Okay, so I tried to step over here and completely missed it. Trying to hold that position. Now I've gone to the side and I've made a really good angle for me to get that now. So it should be much easier for me to get my left leg up. Once again, he's trying to turtle towards me. I hop back off, keep this position here. I'm keeping his arm there with my left hand. You see it's cupping that so my right arm can block his legs because he's trying to bring his legs back in. And then when he gives up, okay, so now what I did, okay, this is nice work by me. I'll give myself a pat on the back for this. I grab my wrist again. I put my left leg over the back of his head. I'm going to fall my left foot to my butt cheek to the ground so I can bring this right leg off because I'm standing on this right now. So I need to have my left butt fall on the ground so I can bring this right leg over the top of his back. I'm not super flexible like most. Like I try to do it there. Now, okay, now I've got it. So now I've got my left leg over the back of his neck, my right leg over his back. My hands are clasped together with a gable grip. And not a gable grip, sorry. My left arm's gripping my forearm, sorry. No, my right arm is gripping my left forearm. And I'm basically pushing my legs down while pulling his neck up. And Lockie's head was about to explode, so he tapped. All right, we touch hands. And we go again. Once again, you'll see I'm quite loose on the wrestling. Feeling things out, seeing for openings. I don't like shooting unless there's an opening. I don't want to use any unnecessary energy. I'm never fit, so I need to make sure that I'm as relaxed as possible. So it's a lot of hand fighting. Okay, so Lockie shoots in on this single. Now what I do is more what the wrestlers do, where I put it to the outside. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, right? Now, Lockie has really good posture here. His back's straight, his knees are bent, his hips are lower than his shoulders. He has a good grip on my leg. This is good. His body's in a great position here to attack. What I'm going to look at doing is I want to push his head to the ground. I am holding his arm here, not tight, just light, so that if he does change to go for a double leg, I can block that. Because if he gets a double leg here, it's much better than a single leg. If he's got a single leg, so I've still got one leg to base on. If he gets double, then I've got no legs to base on. So I'm trying to block that just in case he does. See, my right arm's there just getting ready. And here, my left arm, what I do is I push his head towards the ground. Now look at the angle of his back. Imagine if you're standing up, his hips are higher than his shoulders, there's a big bend in his back. If you're going to pick something heavy off the ground like this, you're most likely going to pull a muscle in your back. So this is why I'm trying to push his head down, is to break his body posture. and then I can slide my knee through there. So what I did is I basically pushed his arms lower than my knee so I can turn it and kick away from him. I'm still pushing his head towards the ground, keeping his posture bad. I'm going to try and kick that left leg out, which I do, and then he goes to the right leg, but because we're on the edge of the mat, he just stops. And look at that! Now this is textbook Lockie, just a complete rat. Looks kind of relaxed. Now let him up, then bang, smashes an underhook on me. Gonna make you pay when I get back to Australia for that one, Lockie. So a bit of hand fighting. All right, so let's look at that one. Lockie shot, which is what you'd usually do from an arm drag position. I didn't see the arm drag position, but see he's gripped my left arm here. What he's looking at doing is shooting his right arm through to grab my bicep with my tricep and to pull my arm this way. If he does that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pull my arm backwards. To do that, I'm going to have to plant this leg to put my weight in it to pull my arm backwards. But what Lockie does, okay, so Lockie shoots my leg with this left leg. I'm just going to bring it back 1 millisecond here because this is important. He shoots for that, right? But the thing is, he hasn't pulled my arm, so there's no need for me to plant this real heavy because I don't need to pull it back. God, my face looks horrible. Okay, so he's coming in, boom, tries to shoot, but once again, I can block this, and because he wasn't pulling my arm across, there was no need for me to keep it planted. I was light on it. I could just unweave it, and Lockie ends up in a bad position here, me going towards his back. He does a good job of blocking my legs here and recovering a half guard, but I mean, essentially, it's a shot that you want to make, Lockie, so don't mess that shit up. Now we're in a position where what most coaches will say is a bad position, but I like playing in these, where I'm giving my opponent my back. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep my hips quite high on his upper body. I'm trying to push his legs away so he can't get hooks. So you can see here, Lockie's hooked this leg like a bit of a grapevine here. So I'm using my right leg to try and kick this to the ground to get my left leg back. But I'm using my right arm to make sure he doesn't hook. Because Lockie's going to want to get that left foot over the top here, get that right foot under here, get his right or left arm around my neck and take my back. So I'm trying to make sure I keep my body weight forward and making space with that. Now what I'm looking at, you'll see me doing a second. Okay, see I try to bring my left foot in between his thigh and belly button here so I could use that to stretch him out, but I missed it. I wasn't quite flexible enough. Look at that. Oh, mate, sometimes I just surprise myself. I use my right arm to grab my shin and pull it in to give it more leverage to pull that in. There we go. Stick that in there, and now I can use my right leg to push his left leg back. So now I don't need to worry so much about this. I can push that back, and my right arm blocks this left knee. Once again, just pushing him away, I keep my hips up, and now I can sort of pop to the other side. And Lockie's sort of inverting here. Okay, now this is a really important detail of what Lockie does real good. Okay, so you see he inverted there, and he puts his leg through. Now what he's trying to do is he's trying to set up an ashigarami position, okay? He's trying to stick this right leg through here because what he wants to do is he wants to capture my left leg eventually, but watch what he does. So he brings his right foot through here, getting on the inside of my legs, and he's grabbed my right foot, but what he's really trying to get is this left leg here. This is what he wants to get, and this is what he could attack really bad. If he attacks my right, it's not going to be too bad, but if he can get my left inside of his leg here, then I'm in trouble. So what he's going to look at doing is he's going to try and get this leg out on the outside of my leg and in on the back of it instead. So he wants his leg in front of the camera here, blocking this, his thigh here. He'll hook that into a triangle on his foot here, and then he has the ashigarami position where he can finish with an inside heel hook, which is probably one of the most dangerous heel hooks. So what you see me do is I'm going to use this foot to try and block this leg from getting out. So let's see that little battle here. Okay, see, he's trying to wind that off. He's trying to wind it off, but I'm keeping my foot here. As long as I keep this hooked here, I'm in a safe position. But if he could get this on the inside, I am fucked. And he's trying, and I'm doing a super good job of blocking that. Good me, go me. And now I'm just trying to keep my weight on top of him so he doesn't push me away. He picks up a single leg X position. And I'm just kind of keep my weight back enough so he can't get control of my arms, but not too far back that he could just kick me out and come up. I'm always trying to keep my weight a little bit on top of him in the sweet spot so that he can't sit up. Okay? He can't sit up there and he can't push me back. If he tries to sit up now, I would push my weight forward. Just going to play this out and see what happens here. Kind of just unwinding. Okay, so what I do here is I use this position because I know that he's got good control of my left leg, but what he's looking at getting here is he's looking to grab my back. He wants to grab my thighs here and come up and attack my back. I know he's got my leg here, and eventually he's going to have to let go of that leg to grab my back. So what I wait for is when he does go from my leg to my back, I run away. He goes there. Okay, I run away. Once again, some hand fighting. Go back into that same position. Now this time, you see what I do here is I grab his arm. I'm always trying to fix things, you know. There's always things that'll give you problems during the rolls, and I'm always trying to address that and then improve on that. So now I knew before when he had my leg here, I couldn't. When he grabbed my foot here, I had no room to slide my leg through here. As you see, there's no space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this arm, and I'm going to drag it right up here and have it flying out here. That way, if he does get an underhook on this side, it takes away the application of an underhook. I'm going to show you this in a second. So I've got a good grip. Now notice I have my thumb and my index finger on the wrist. I don't want it the other way around. The other way around would just be my little finger here, and the grips would be around his forearm, which would make it weak. My thumb on the wrist and my index finger, they're the ones that are squeezing, not the rest of the fingers. Okay, and now notice what I've done here is I'm pushing this out. I've got a straight elbow. I'm keeping my chest as flat to the ground as I can, which gives us a really good angle. So if he's trying to pull it in now, he's also trying to pull against my the leverage of my arm. Now what Lockie would look at doing is what Langecker did in my matches, where he brought his head on the inside of my arm and peeled this off. But Lockie's head's a little bit too big, so he can't get that in there right now. He does have an underhook on this side though. I also have a thumb in the armpit, which is exactly what I did against Langecker, and if you watch that narration, you'll see why that's so important. But basically, having this arm here is going to take away the effectability of the underhook. When he has an underhook in this arm, the application of that is to try and bring me forward to create space around the back so he can pop up and attack my back. Then if I defend it, I try and protect my back, and he'll get a sweep. But to do that, he needs to post on this elbow. He needs this elbow or arm back here so he can post up and get up. If I'm grabbing his elbow, he cannot sit up. So then it doesn't matter if he has an underhook. I'm just going to slide straight through here and he'll be stuck there. So I drop my knee. I'm going to drop my knee to the ground, I think. I'm going to push his knee back here. So he's trying to bring his knee in here, take away this space here. So I'm going to use my own knee to try and drive back here, I believe. There we go. See, a little bit of a push, and then I take away this space. I push it back again. He's going to try and hook that, but I'm sure I can unweave that. But as you can see, he has an underhook this whole time. But because I have this bottom arm, it takes away everything that underhook is meant for. Now he's trying to turtle up towards me. I'm going to ref and give myself the points for this, but you know, some competitions will say, no, you need them flat. Like he's trying to turtle up like a little bitch, and I'm trying to stop him. Okay, we're back again to the guard passing. I always like to sit over this bottom leg here. I like to pass with my right foot forward, so I always I just grab the ankle, I push this in between my legs, and I go to a kneecap position. I like this. Watch here, push it in between my legs. There we go. Now he does a good job of getting his foot on here, which is good, because once again, I always want to anchor myself to his upper body first, then pass the legs. If he can get his foot here, he's always got a bit of leverage to push me back. His feet are going to be stronger than my hands, so I always try and kill any kind of foot position that they have, especially on the hips, but he keeps that. Lockie tries to turn that into a sweep here, okay? I'm going to pause that at the moment where, okay, see, there's really good here. Lockie grabs my arm real quick here. All you need to do for a sweep is take away your opponent's ability to post in a certain direction, which Lockie has here, and then generate leverage that way. He's used his right foot. He's going to push with his arm. But what happens? Okay, he just didn't hold long enough with that arm, and I was able to post out here and nullify that sweep. God, I'm good. Hard to watch this. Hard to watch this. Okay, I have a good underhook on this side now, but I definitely do not like passing with my left knee forward because I had a knee reconstruction, so I'm always going to try and probably go back to the other side. But this is a decent position for me, but I'm not going to make much of it here. I try and step off and I just lose control. Back again. See, I sit over that leg once again. I'm always like to sit over that leg. Okay, he gets double underhooks, which is cool. I don't mind double underhooks so much because, again, when I want to pass, I want to attach myself to his upper body and then pass the legs. Now, if he's grabbed me, then he's doing the job of attaching himself to me. So then I'm going to try and flick these legs past as much as I can. I'm going to try and, I like to not get stretched out. The biggest danger when they have double underhooks is if they can stretch both your legs like flat out here. They create space under here and they can attack. But you notice I'm trying to keep my knee up here, trying to take away as much space in between my arms and legs as I can. So he's trying to stretch that out. He keeps trying to get butterfly hooks to stretch it out. I'm trying to step off of him, and I almost do. And now we're just in this position where he has the double underhooks on my legs, and now he's coming up. Now watch the difference now. Now he has an underhook, but he has this hand free. So I'm using my left arm here to push my weight back and my thumb, but it's not enough right now because what he does is, there we go. See, he's posted on this arm. Now he has leverage to come up a lot more. I really should have caught this arm before that and did what I did before. But now it's a lot more dangerous. Once again, I'm pushing his head down, creating a bend on his back so that he's not so strong. Okay, this is a setup. I'm going for a choke here. Now, I like to take this choke here, like a rear naked choke with my leg in, and then use that while they're defending. I kick my leg out and take the back. Let's see how this plays out. So I have the choke in now with one arm, and you can see it's on him, but he's keeping this underhook and he's keeping good composure. What I really need to do is I need to connect my hands together like a rear naked choke, which you're going to see in a second. Okay, see, what I need to do is I need to bring this on the inside here and attack that choke, but I don't want to lose the back position trying to do that either. Because right now I kind of got the back position, but now I'm going to try and grab that, and if I lose that here, then I'm going to get swept. And see, I tried to, lost it, and now I end up on my back, getting swept. Well done, Lockie. First time you ever got points on me, and it's on video online, you mother. Anyway, Lockie does a really good job here of getting double unders. Now, let's just see this little cheeky little shit. I want to see what he's looking at right now. Ah, look at that. Looking at the clock. Now I know that he's going to hold this position. And he should, because he's got a good position here. He's got double underhooks. Now, this is a really good position to hold. It's not really going to help you too much with passing, but if you're up on points already, this is a very strong position. What I'm looking at doing is I'm looking at, well, waiting for him to try and do something a little bit here. But I mean, I've got to also do something as well if I'm down, but luckily I'm up, so it doesn't matter too much. I get this underhook. I'm trying to bring him a little bit higher, but doing it as casually as I can. I don't want to make it too obvious what I want to do, but I'm trying to bring his upper body a little bit higher so that I can free something up. But I know that there's about 10 seconds left right now, and I've got to move quick if I want to make something happen. So I think I go for a little bit of an explosion to see if I can rock him a little bit. Now, the reason why I do this, I get a right foot on here, and I'm using my leg to drive my weight up. It's not so much to sweep him, because I know I can't, but it's to hope that he opens his arms up to base. Let's see what happens here. Okay, he doesn't open his arms up to base, but he still has that elbow and that leg just enough to stop me from doing anything. And I'm trying to make something happen right now. And he makes the mistake of bringing his leg in right now, which means I've got an underhook here and I can grab that leg. That means I'm going to have leverage to move his body out this way. Okay, so I grab my fingers. Now this is good. Now this is the issue here. What I'm looking at doing, because I've got him in half guard here, so he doesn't have an ability to post in this direction here, but this arm is here. What I need to do, which I didn't do, is I needed to bring my arm up a little bit more, my shoulder up a little bit more to make sure, to force his arm over here instead. But because it's down here, which I couldn't see, it stops me from getting a sweep. So watch in a second where so I go to bump him this way, almost, that arm is there. I needed that arm here. Idiot. Anyway, I go for that and the time is up. But it was a really cool roll. And like I said, Lockie's a world-class competitor. He's kicking ass at the moment. One of the best jiu-jitsu guys on the planet. Go check him out. I'll put a link on there for you. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and share. And if you do have any videos you'd like me to narrate, Or if you'd like me to change the way I narrate or help me improve, please let me know. This is the second one. I did one on my match with Tommy Langaker last weekend. So if you haven't seen that, go and check that out. There's a lot of really cool details in that one. And I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you want to see more of my tutorials, go to kitdaletraining.com and check out all my videos. I advise you check out the no-gi guard passing masterclass if you like the way I was passing in this. Take care, guys. All right, now it's the awkward time of trying to stop this video. Us.